Ferrari 48 Pista Spider. Nice Ferrari SF90 parked here, all the way from Kuwait. I have a nice Ferrari 812 Competizione, just parked outside the Yacht Club of Monaco. Interesting spec, looks really good though. Love this car. True Monaco fashion, just a casual Ferrari Enzo driving by. How amazing is that? Very cool. Alright guys, welcome back to the vlog today. So today I thought I'd take you guys through the automobile collection of the Prince of Monaco. We've got some pretty cool cars in there. We've already got the ticket here, as you can see, and it's only 10 euros. Which is pretty cool. So we'll jump inside and have a look at what's in there. All right, so the first car that we see when we come in here is a really nice Aston Martin DBX 707. And it looks to be the medical car for Formula One. It actually looks really cool. Don't know if you can see inside, but they have bucket seats front and back with harnesses. Not a bad medical car if you have to be picked up in one. And then as we come here, we come down the stairs and we have a couple of insane looking F1 cars hanging off the wall, which actually looks really cool. So we have a Renault ING F1 car there, and over here we have a Mercedes-Benz Vodafone F1. And both look really, really cool sitting up there on the wall. And here's some information just about what's in here, about the collection. It's Prince Rainier III's car collection. And it's basically, all of the cars that he collected throughout his life. And here's a really cute little classic car as you start the tour. It's actually really small. It's called a Super B2 cycle car, built in 1913. Very, very, very cute little car. Has a single seat in the back and a single seat in the front. The next car here, another classic car, a little bit bigger, 2 seats side by side, is a Peugeot Type 161 Quadriletti, built in 1921. Another cute little car. I don't know if you can see that, but the seats are kind of stagnated, so the passenger sits back and the driver sits forward. Now, how's this for an interesting car, if you could call it that? 2 seats, one behind the other. And then when you come around to the front here, it's got this huge propeller, which is bizarre. It's called a Liat Helica, built in 1921. Can't imagine what that would be like driving along in that. Loud to say the least, no doubt, very windy. And here, just at the start of the tour, are a few more classic cars. This one here, called a Napier. Quite a regal looking car, a pretty old car. Called a Unique Torpedo, built in 1916. And you have this huge car here in green, this beautiful car called a Packard 6 Roadster, built in 1926. And here are some of the coaches that used to be used by the royal family here in Monaco. Some of these dates back to 1885, called Break Rostang. This one here in 1865, unusual looking one, 1885. And then we've got this cool Humber, And here we have a few unusual looking Renaults. This is a Renault CB Torpedo built in 1911. We've got this interesting looking Renault Voituretti. And then this Renault KJ1 Coach. Interesting looking little car. Here we've got a couple of Fords. The one here, the Service Social, is a Ford GPW Jeep built in 1942. Very cool car. Then we've got this lovely old car here with wood finish on the doors. It's a Ford V8 48 station wagon called Woody, built in 1936. Got this massive Hispano-Suiza, amazing looking car. Hispano-Suiza H6B Landulette Kellner, built back in 1928. A pretty old convertible here. This is a Sunbeam Alpine Mark I Roadster, built back in 1954. It's actually a very pretty car. I can imagine driving along the French Riviera in this car. Very pretty. There's a very interesting looking Chrysler Imperial from 1956. We actually saw this the other day driving around Monaco. I think it was shown at Top Marks. Basically it says weighs 2,200 kilograms, has a top speed of 170 kilometers an hour. Engine is a 354 cubic inch, 5.8 litre, 8-cylinder. Some more pretty old cars here. This one's the Delage D815 Berline from 1935. We have this lovely cream-coloured car here. This is a Packard Super 8 Cabriolet, built back in 1935. And then this interesting little car here is a Delahaye 135 MS Cabriolet from 1947. Has a 3.5 litre 6-cylinder engine, weighs 1,400 kilos, and a top speed of 160 kilometers an hour. We have a very pretty little car here. I've never heard of one of these. It's called a Cisitalia 202 Cabriolet from 1950. Pretty little car. And then we have a lovely Ferrari 250 GT Cabriolet Pininfarina from 1963. Very nice car. Another very pretty car here is the Alfa Romeo Giulia Spider from back in 1962. Alfa Romeo, I must say, built some very pretty cars. A very nice Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud Berline from 1956. And then here we have a very customized Lexus LS600HL, which was actually used for Prince Albert's wedding, as you can see here. But very interesting looking car. The whole rear end of the car, as you can see here, has like a, I'm assuming it's Perspex clear roof, which looks quite amazing. As you can see there, number plate 001M, LS600HL. Very cool. I wonder how much that cost to commission. Then here we have an unusual looking car. It's an Austin Taxi FX3 from back in 1952. Unusual looking car. Now here is one of my favorite little cars. Very cute little car. You see these driving around Monaco. It's a little Fiat 600 Jolly de Plage from 1959. And these things, I've seen some of these for sale here in Monaco, upwards of 200,000 euros. So they are quite sought after car, and I would love to have one of these. Over here we have a few little tiny cars, I guess, for the kids, and then we have a nice Lotus 7 4 from 1971. Interesting little car. Runs a 4-cylinder 1.6 litre engine, has 84 horsepower, weighs 580 kilos, which is super light. Top speed of 170 kilometers an hour. 0 to 100 in 7.1 seconds. And here a very pretty car, Lamborghini Miura P400. This one's from 1967. Very, very, very nice car. These things are worth a lot of money these days, no doubt, as a lot of classic cars are. But yeah, very nice example, perfect condition. V12, 3.9 litre, 350 horsepower. The car only weighs 985 kilograms, which is very light. 280 kilometers an hour, top speed, and 0 to 60 in 6.7 seconds. Very nice example here of a Renault Alpine A110 1600S. This one's from 1971. Very cute little car. This car has a 4-cylinder engine, 138 horsepower, which is not a lot, but this is a very old car, and it only weighs 680 kilograms. Top speed was 205 kilometers an hour. Very cute little car here. And here we have a Renault 4CV Berline from 1957. It's a very cute little car, very pretty. Another Citroën here. This is a Citroën 2 CVAZ Berline from 1957. And a slightly larger Citroën. It's a very pretty Citroën as well here. It's a Citroën 15.6 Berline from 1950. And then we have this stunning looking Mercedes-Benz here. Very pretty car with suicide doors by the looks of it. That's a very, very pretty car. It's a Mercedes 220A Cabriolet from 1955. It has a 2.2 litre 6-cylinder engine, 80 horsepower, weighs 1,350 kilograms and a top speed of 140 kilometers an hour. And here a really lovely car, one of my favorite cars, a Mercedes-Benz 300 SL from 1955. These things demand a lot of money these days. And this here, very interesting looking car. I've never heard of one of these. It's a Nash Healey Cabriolet from 1952. And then here another very unusual looking car called a Facel 2 Coupe from 1963. And then here a very pretty car, a Jaguar Type E, 4.2 litre from 1969. Another very pretty car that I would love to have is a BMW iZ 300 from 1960. It's actually a 3-wheel car. Hopefully you can make sense of it, but you can see here that you actually enter the car through the very front, which is really cool. Here, nice looking car. This is a Maserati Mistral 4000 Coupe Fruya from 1968. Interesting looking car, quite nice. And here we have some F1 cars. We have this one up on the wall here. This is a F1 Lotus E21 from 2013. Has a 2.4 litre V8, which is a pretty small V8 engine. Revs to 18,000 revs per minute, which is insane. Weighs 642 kilograms. That thing would sound so good. And then here we have a Alfa Romeo Sauber C37 from 2018. So we've got a 1.6 litre V6 turbo engine and the car weighs 733 kilograms. And this actual car was driven by Charles Leclerc. And here, a very special car. I've seen a few of these driving around in California, but I believe this is probably the only real one that I've actually ever seen. It's a Bugatti Type 35A from 1927. I'd be very interested to know how much this car would be worth. If you do know, let me know in the comment section below. But we're running a 2 litre 8-cylinder engine. It does 100 horsepower, weighs 762 kilograms, and has a top speed of 180 kilometers an hour. Here we have a stunning old F1 Ferrari 640 from 1989, which was actually driven by Nigel Mansell. This car has a 3.4 litre 12-cylinder engine, 600 horsepower at 12,500 revs per minute, and it only weighs 510 kilograms, which is pretty insane. And this is interesting. It's an F1 Lamborghini 291 from 1991. Very interesting looking car. A 3.5 litre V12, had 640 horsepower and weighed just 510 kilograms. A rally car here, a Peugeot 205 Turbo 16 from 1985. It's a 1.8 litre 4-cylinder turbo. It had 365 horsepower, which is a lot back in 1985. And it weighed just 940 kilograms. So this thing would rocket. Okay, and this is a very cool car, a Lancia 037 from 1984. Very, very cool looking car. And then here we have a BMW M1 from back in 1982. It's had a 3.5 litre 6-cylinder engine, 277 horsepower, weighed just 1,020 kilograms, top speed of 262, and 0 to 100 in 5.7 seconds. There's some more rally cars here. It's a Renault 5 Maxi Turbo from 1985. Very cool little car. And another one that looks somehow even more extreme. A Rover Metro GR4. A V6 engine, 410 horsepower, 1,040 kilograms. It's pretty crazy. And how beautiful is this Aston Martin? What a stunning car. Beautiful color. Just lovely. Another F1 car. This looks very cool. It's a F1 Ferrari SF90 from 2019. Has a V6 turbo engine, weighs just 743 kilograms, top speed of 340 kilometers an hour, and driven by Charles Leclerc. Some more very pretty Aston Martins. If you know which model they are, let me know in the comment section below. I'm not so good at my old Aston Martins, but very pretty cars. An interesting Zagato built Aston Martin. Which one? I'm not sure. But interesting to say the least. Clearly I've never seen one of these in the road. Manual gearbox. We've got this crazy looking car, just a tad of downforce there. Toyota Yaris WRC from 2021, looks pretty intense. Then we have a Mitsubishi Pajero Paris Dakar. And then this is interesting. a Ferrari Daytona 365 GTB4 Competizione. Very nice car. Have some side pipes there, if you can see, just sticking out the side. So this thing must sound really good. 4.3 litre V12, 430 horsepower, top speed of 310 kilometers an hour, 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds, and a weight of 1,240 kilograms. And this is a pretty amazing car. It's a Porsche 908 from 1969. Stats on this: 3 litre 8-cylinder engine, 350 horsepower, and just 660 kilograms. And then a very nice Porsche Carrera here. It's a 911 Carrera RS from 1973. Very pretty car and probably worth a lot of money. Very nice. And finishing it off with an Aston Martin Superleggera. I don't know if this is actually part of the collection or if it's just for sale, but very nice looking car.